there we go. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Weather Fans Live here on Sunday, the 13th of August 23. Tonight, we're going to take a look at the latest in the tropics. Then we've got yellow warnings out tomorrow for rain. We'll take a look at them next after that. And we'll take a look at the potential for the heat for the end of this week. We'll see the latest on the charts for that. Bit of a mental block there. Let's go straight to it. Let's go and have a look at the latest on the tropics. Everything's gone slow on me again. I've been trying to bring the screen share up. So has that come up on the screen there? Yes, it has. Let's have a look at the latest on the tropics. So at the moment in the Atlantic, there's nothing expected in the next 48 hours. So it's all quite still in the Atlantic. Some agencies are predicting it to be quite an active season, but it's been quite quiet for a while now, to be honest. But we're not too far into the peak season. Normally September is the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season. So possibility in the next few weeks, activity could start to pick up. But with an El Nino year, it can reduce the likelihood of some of these storms with the wind shear, which can destroy some of these storms if they do start to kick off. But we'll soon see. With the sea surface temperatures around the Atlantic at the moment, it's on the ground that battleground until if that wind shear is actually there, which will then rip the storm apart. But we shall see in the next few weeks. Right, let's head over to the latest with the Eastern Pacific, and that is a different story at the moment. Oops, try again. We've currently got Tropical Storm Fernanda. We've got the disturbance once there with 90% chance of cyclone formation in the next 48 hours. And we've got disturbance 2 with 30% chance of cyclone formation. So let's have a look at the disturbance 1. Showers and thunderstorms are becoming better organised in association with an area of low pressure located 1,400 miles east-southeast of the Hawaiian Islands. Environmental conditions appear conducive for continued development, and a tropical depression is likely to form during the next day or so as it moves westward or west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles an hour. The system is forecast to cross into the Central Pacific Basin late tonight. And the next 48 hours and 7 days is 90% chance of that happening. So that's probably in the next few hours will turn into a tropical depression or storm. Tropical disturbance number 2 off the coast of southern Mexico. A tropical wave continues to produce a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the far eastern portion of the East Pacific. Environmental conditions appear conducive for development during the next several days, and a tropical depression is expected to form by midweek while the system moves west to northwestward, roughly parallel to the coast of southern and southwestern Mexico. Formation chance in the next 48 hours is 30%, but in the next 7 days it is at 90%. So that's another tropical storm due to form in the next few days. One that has already formed is Tropical Storm Fernanda. Currently, maximum sustained winds of 60 miles an hour, and that will, in the next few days, go into hurricane strength before starting to weak towards the end of the week. Is not expected to affect any kind of land at all as it moves out into the Pacific. Let's head towards the Central Pacific, see if there's anything across there. We have got Dora that X there is the one I've just mentioned about. That's due to cross into this region properly in the next 12 to 24 hours. And there's Dora still exploring. While past the Hawaiian Islands, let's have a look at Dora the Explorer, who's been making a track across the Pacific. And there she is. She's currently at 67 miles an hour. Now a tropical storm. What am I doing there? Oops, Daisy. I don't know what I've done there. I think I've just knocked the service winds there. I need most of the winds higher up. Let's go back to the service on that. I must have thought that was a tab then to move up or down, but it wasn't. So yeah, there's Tropical Storm Dora. She's expected to fizzle out in the next few days. Let's zoom out to see whereabouts she is. There she is, well out the going towards the western side of the Pacific there. There's the Hawaiian Islands, and there's the other two we mentioned about just a moment ago. Dora is just expects to fizzle out. She starts to move more towards northwest in the next couple of days. So 99E is what we've already mentioned, and the other one we've got is Lan. That is now approaching Japan, currently a Category 1 hurricane or typhoon as it is that side of the world, and is expected to hit Japan bound between a tropical storm and a Category 1 typhoon. And the predicted path in the next few days, my guess it's going to get picked up by the jet stream of how quick it then shoots across the northeast in the next few days. So as I'm guessing there's some kind of jet stream coming through here and just gets picked up and which you shifted quicker than it's ever shifted before. And that is Typhoon Lan. Let's move closer to the UK and have a look at the UK warnings from the Met Office for tomorrow. So we have got a yellow warning for rain for parts of northern England through into much of Wales. This is for rain which is valid from midnight tonight through till 9 p.m. tomorrow. And the write-up on that says as follows. Rain is expected to develop across southwest England and South Wales on Sunday evening and spread northeast to affect many parts of England and Wales through Monday before easing and clearing into the North Sea on Monday night. Within this larger band, a corridor of heavy, persistent, and perhaps thundery rainfall is expected to develop. There is some uncertainty in the track of this heavier rain, but 20 to 40 millimeters of rain is expected to fall in many areas within the warning area, with a chance of 60 to 80 millimeters falling in a few places, much of which will fall in 3 to 6 hours. At this stage, this very heavy rain appears more likely to fall over northwest Wales and northwest England. And as I'm talking about rain, my rain alarm has actually just gone off. So let's go back actually to windy. Let's take away that Let's just bear me 1 second while I bring the rainfall for the UK. Let's go back to this. So here is the latest rainfall. Come on, there we go. So there's the appearance of that rainfall there affecting Wales, southwest England right now. Let's play that forward. So it's moving more towards the northeast, and what is expected overnight into tomorrow morning is a low pressure to develop within this. So during the day tomorrow, winds are expected to pick up as well, only slightly, nothing major at all, but you probably notice during the day the wind will start to pick up. But it's these areas here for Western Wales and parts of northern England which is under the warning here. Can I bring that forward? No, I can't. So let's have a look at the synoptic weather charts to see what's going on. The facts charts here from the Met Office as of midday today. We've got low pressure in charge of our weather. You've all these weather fronts out towards northwest, which dry elsewhere, and it's this feature here towards the southwest, which is actually moving up, which has already started to affect parts of England and Wales. And it's this where it's expected to develop into a little layer of low pressure. So let's bring that forward through to midday tomorrow. And we've got that triple point right across northwest of England. It's expected to bring some heavier bursts of rain, and this is actually developing an area of low pressure. Then as we head into overnight into Tuesday, that moves off into the North Sea, and around this bit of a slack west to northwesterly, the ice bars open up through into Wednesday. Then after that, we get this area of high pressure starting to develop right across the UK. And everything's gone all slow for me. Oh, don't we love it when things go really slow? Just bear me 1 moment. Just try to refresh that. I can see why now this is actually updating as I speak. So this is now the very latest. So this is the 6 o'clock facts charts, which must have just come down. So this is now showing that developing area of low pressure, much closer to the UK, which we know it's actually above England and above parts of Wales and England as well as I speak. So any changes to that, says that low. Now as we head through into Thursday, we're in a bit of a northwesterly flow into this ridge of high pressure. Then there's potential there of maybe some thunderstorms moving up from, sorry, not a northwesterly flow at all, do apologise. It's actually a more southeasterly flow. I've got this weather front here which could produce some thunderstorms. We'll have a look at the charts. Actually, let's have a look at the charts right now, in fact. So let's have a look at the UKV. Let's go have a look at that rainfall for tomorrow and see what the latest is showing on this. So these are the high resolution charts from the UKV model, which is a product of the Met Office. So there we go. We start to see that rain come up from the southwest there. Quite a lot of heavier burst within that. Some rain across many parts of the country overnight. Then this actually has this much further north actually compared to probably this morning's run. So I think it's one of those situations where the Met Office are just giving a very close eye on. So I'm not seeing too much of that. So I was expecting more that heavier burst across North Wales and Northern England. But that seems to have pushed it a little bit further north. So the warnings could get upgraded tomorrow morning or during the night. But it seems like that hasn't moving through much quicker than expected. So let's run that through. Looking at that doesn't seem like it develops into that area of low pressure properly until Monday night. You see that curl just off the coast of eastern Scotland there. So let's have a look. Tuesday, possibly some scattered showers around. That's as far as I can go with this UKV. So let's go straight now to the GFS charts. So let's look at sea surface pressure charts and see what they're showing. And will this still be showing the heat for the end of the week? And do we get a thundery low move up from the south? So this is the latest GFS from lunchtime today. And we can see that low pressure coming from the southwest. And that seems to develop that during the night into Monday as well. See, that's close circulation just there through into Tuesday night. Then be high night, high pressure starts to build. We've got low pressure out in the Atlantic. Then our flow starts coming from an easterly through Thursday. Then starts to switch more to a southeasterly through Friday, and perhaps more of a southerly through into Friday evening time. Low pressure out to the west, that could bring up some the storms, heavy or thundery rain out towards the west. What happens to that low? That low starts to pull away to Iceland. Then we get into a bit of a slack flow, really. Maybe a bit of a slack easterly flow to start of next week. And it seems like we're right between high and low pressure there. So, bit of a mishmash there. We'll have a look at the upper airs in just a moment. Then we've got these all high building up from the southwest. We've got low pressure towards the northeast. That'll bring in more of an east to southeasterly again. No, it doesn't. It seems to bring more of a north to northwesterly, in fact. Yes, with low pressure towards northeast, bringing more of a northwesterly there. So it'll bring cooler conditions in. And we've got a bit of a straight northerly there from the Arctic. That is a northerly flow there, showing for Sunday the 27th, which is 2 weeks away. So definitely bring cooler conditions in there, then potentially for high pressure to move back in at the end of the run. Let's have a look at the upper airs. After this, we'll take a look at this morning's run, see what that was showing. So during the start of this week, we're under relatively cool air. Then high pressure builds. Then we'll start to pick up a bit of an east to southeasterly. The 10-degree isotherm moves through. Then the 15 clips into the southeast there. Now it's like low pressure tries to move in from the Atlantic there, which will perhaps bring some heavy rain or possible thunderstorms. And that heat just stays off the eastern coast of England there. At a 20-degree isotherm, it's like hits parts of western Germany, maybe into the Low Countries as well. But the UK is under relatively cool air. So just a subtle shift, and we'll tap into that quite hot air, really. Then as we head into 10 days from now, Wednesday the 23rd, still under relatively cool air. Then towards the end of this model run, we start to see that cold, saying it's quite a cold plunge there. Even the 0-degree isotherm gets into parts of Scotland by the time we get to the end of the month. Then high pressure then at the end of this run starts to build with warmer air heading towards Scotland there. And so that's showing right at the end of the run there some cooler conditions for a short time, maybe for a few days there. And let's have a look at the temperatures, then we'll have a look at the Cape and lifted charts, see if that's showing anything. Then we'll have a look at the rainfall, see what the potential is for some storms. So tomorrow temperatures, depending where that band of heavy rain is sitting, if you're stuck underneath that, probably looking at 12, 13, 14 degrees. Much of England and Wales, more high teens, perhaps low 20s there for tomorrow. Tuesday, I'm probably again looking at high teens, low 20s for much of the UK. Wednesday, again, temperatures into the low 20s, perhaps reaching the mid 20s towards the southeast. With high pressure building in, temperatures start to perhaps increase by a degree or two every day. So much of the UK is in the high teens, low 20s, again, perhaps the mid 20s towards the southeast. And Friday, again, we're looking at high teens across much of the UK, with mid to high, around about mid 20s for much of Midlands and southeast England on Friday. Then with the risk of thunderstorms towards the west, temperatures like cooling down a little bit as we head into Saturday. Still relatively warm across much of England and Wales. Temperature again into the low to mid 20s. Then next Sunday, again low to mid 20s. The main heat staying up into near constant, where parts of France down here reaching 36, 37 degrees. That looks like on this latest run stays out to our east. Again, Monday the 21st, mid 20s. Then as we head towards the end of the week, temperature decreasing at the stage 2 weeks' time. Then highs on Sunday, 27, 2 weeks' time, perhaps 17, 18 degrees towards southern England. Perhaps 9 or 10 degrees for parts of Scotland. How far can we go with this? Then even top temperatures, Monday the 28th, as it stands, we're probably looking at about 14 or 15 degrees tops. Again, 11s and 12s towards Scotland with that northerly push. Let's have a look at the Cape and lifted charts. Is there anything and much energy to feed any of these storms if they do break out towards the end of the week. So there's that potential there for tomorrow. That's low pressure developing there of low pressure moving across tomorrow. So I'll bring some heavier bursts of rain. And some probably heavy showers there, perhaps for southern Scotland to the far north of England for Tuesday. Then things start to settle down on Wednesday and Thursday as well. There's that increase on Friday. Not showing much cape there for Friday at the stage, but if you look into the near constant there, there's some juicy levels there. Just that takes that subtle shift a bit further west, and then we'll probably end up tapping into possibly this thundery spell there. Then not much to show there for Saturday the 19th. And we're going more into the unreliable time frame there for days 8, 9, and 10. So this is not showing too much in the case of perhaps thunderstorms. So look at the precipitation, see if that'll back that up as well. If there is any precipitation showing there for Friday, this is not really going to show too much thunder at all. So there's Thursday, perhaps risk some showers there for parts of Scotland. Maybe 1 second. Then there's that potential for that rain coming through on Friday. At this stage, I don't see it being thundery with a cape. Oh, I don't know. Could be chance of some thunderstorms. Probably hard to say it this far ahead. So sort of definitely need to keep an eye on during the week. So possibility Friday. Friday afternoon, more into the evening time for parts of England and Wales. Possible risk of some thunderstorms, or it could be the bout of heavy rain. We shall see close to the time. Next, we'll take a look at this morning's run to see what that was showing. So let's bring that to sea level pressure chart to see if it got very similar to this morning. So there's that low pressure movement to North Sea through Tuesday, high pressure building across the UK on Wednesday and Thursday, bringing in that east to southeasterly flow into Friday. A bit of a slack southerly flow there, so should be important bit of heat there. That doesn't seem like it brings the low pressure fully into the UK, maybe for western areas, but that could bring up a weather front through England, Wales. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. So low pressure out to the west. We'll start to pick up more of a southwesterly flow there. High pressure remains out to the east. And also perhaps develop an area of low pressure actually across the UK actually through to Monday the 21st. Again, that could bring either some heavy rain and possible thunderstorms, or I've got the upper airs within that. We've got high pressure just to our south, but low pressure sits across the UK. This is more bringing more of an Atlantic feel on this run. Long fetch southwesterly there. High pressure more towards the south. So there's a battleground there between low pressure towards northwest and high pressure towards the south on this one. Then gets quite stormy as we head into Saturday the 26th of August. Bit of a dartboard low actually appearing there for Saturday the 26th from this morning's run. That'll bring gale force winds for parts of northwest Scotland there. And even as it heads up towards Iceland, perhaps severe gales there. But this run does not bring in a northerly wind like the latest run was showing. That brings more back a southerly flow again towards the end of this model run. So let's have a look at the upper airs. So there's that low pressure over the next few days, and high pressure starts to build across the UK. Then we start to bring in a bit of an east to southeasterly flow as we head into Friday. The 10-degree isotherm starts to cross much of the country. A 15-degree isotherm just stays out towards the far southeast, maybe just off the coast there. And it just stays off the coast of southeast England there as we're heading into Monday the 21st. So this morning's run just keeps the heat just close to the far southeast before low pressure starts to take control for days 9 and 10. Then we do pick up that southwesterly flow, keeps it relatively warm across the southern areas. And with that long fetch southwesterly, that'll probably bring in a lot of moisture. So maybe some heavy rain with that further north and west. And this is where we start to see that developing storm towards northwest of Scotland and bring up the plus 15-degree isotherm actually through that flow. So that temperature contrast towards the north and the warmth towards the south, that actually then will fire up this area of low pressure. So there's quite a lot of cool air towards the North Atlantic and all this warm air towards the south side of this low pressure, and it just blows it up into, as I said, a bit of a storm there. Then we stay under the relatively cool conditions there towards the end of this run. Let's see what the temperatures bring from this morning's run. Just bring that through straight to Wednesday. It's virtually in agreement with the other model run. So again, we're looking at low to mid 20s for much of England and Wales from Wednesday onwards. Again, mid 20s across much of England and Wales there for Thursday as well. And potentially might be showing some showers perhaps for for western areas. And do we keep more warmth coming up from the southeast? Temperatures get into the high 20s again for much of England and Wales there. So 25 to 29, maybe 30, 31, maybe towards the southeast. Then for Sunday the 20th, this keeps the heat more towards eastern England, perhaps the Midlands again, mid to high 20s. Again, the heat's been kept, severe heat's kept towards France, where they reach in the mid 30s there. Then as we head into Monday the 21st, much cooler, fresh conditions across much of England and Wales, away from the far southeast where temperatures perhaps 27, 28 degrees. And I mentioned that plus 15-degree isotherm just kept in the near continent with temperatures maybe with the likes of up to 37, 38 degrees. And places not too far from Calais, just a bit further inland, again 36, 37 degrees there, showing there from Monday the 21st of August. So as I mentioned, it just takes a subtle tweak where things push further west, where we can actually tap into this hot air. So we really get onto that knife edge there if we do tap into this hot air or not. But on Monday the 22nd is showing maybe like a band of rain across northern England there, with temperatures barely into double figures, 11, 12 degrees there, where again, lower 20s across southeastern England. And then temperatures go more or less back down to average, maybe trying to pick up again there. Friday the 25th, temperatures again mid to high 20s for parts of England and Wales. And again for Saturday the 26th, I think with that southwesterly flow and that developing area of low pressure as well. Bring up some heat before return back to average towards the end of this run. The Cape and lifted for the end of the week. Let's have a look, see what that was. That's showing on this morning's run. So Thursday, the Cape is more or less over towards France. Friday, maybe some hints towards the southern areas. And this is not really showing too much of Cape actually through into next weekend, so something needs to come on. But Monday the 21st of August, this is showing maybe something coming up there from the south. But if you look at near continent there, some of these are really perhaps going to supercell conditions there if it came off and the conditions were right. Even the -9 for maybe parts of Belgium there, so definitely need to come out for the weekend. And we'll leave that as that. It's getting dark, isn't it? Quickly at night now. What we're now 20 to 9 and light is fading fast. So in summary, got perhaps a developing area of low pressure going across parts of the UK, perhaps during tomorrow or maybe overnight into Tuesday. Met Office yellow warning out for heavy rain for parts of northern England into North Wales. That could get downgraded, I think, possibly overnight. Look at the latest UKV model run where the rainfall has it a bit further north than what was actually shown probably earlier on today. Then maybe a few scattered showers on Tuesday. Then from Wednesday, it's a bit of a drying trend and things turning warmer. Temperatures for a while they would get into the low to mid 20s. Also maybe the high 20s towards the southeast. We just need to keep an eye on towards the end of the week, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Where's that risk? If low pressure moves up from the southwest, it could bring some thundery rain or perhaps some thundery showers as well. But we need to keep an eye on that further around the week, maybe from Wednesday, Thursday onwards, and see if anything comes of it. Thursday, we'll definitely have a better idea of what will happen for the weekend, how hot it will get, and do we see some thunderstorms? And will our storm chasers be out chasing if they do occur? We shall see. Thank you for watching. I'll be back on Thursday. Take care and watch out for further updates. Good night.